Hello, my angels, and welcome back to a new day, new reading. I want to see how you, collective, what you are focusing on emotionally and maybe physically, but want to tap in to that beautiful mind of yours to see what is going on in you right now. So, the collective we are reading for today, what is their focus? What is their focus? So we have Girl with a Snake. It talks about the charm they used, enabled, and boundaries. And Phoenix. Okay. And one more. And Blowing Kisses. Okay. So you could be finding yourself wanting to put up boundaries when it comes to what you're phoenixing. Again, if we take it a bit to the blowing kisses, the unconditional love, the giving and receiving, the fairness and love, affection in return, you could be finding yourself quite phoenixing over wanting to have a changed mind when it comes to putting up boundaries. Could you be feeling charmed or used by someone, by a girl with a snake? You could, like an energy that does not serve you in this moment of time, and you are finding yourself again preparing for something new. You could be feeling that shift within you, coming into more power and coming into more of a state within yourself where you're feeling that strength coming from within. And it could kind of have come out of left field, I'm hearing, that you didn't take notice of it, and all of a sudden you just feel this reinforcement of power within you. But it would have to do with love here, with the blowing kisses. So maybe that unconditional love, yes, you would be embodying that, but more from the understanding or the view of, does this serve me? If you know what I'm saying. What is this giving to me? I think that's unconditional love. It's for you, and you're finding yourself putting up boundaries with people who do not align with that energy. If you do not serve me, I'm going to release you. I'm going to prepare for something new. I'm going to change my mind. I'm going to rise from the ashes. You know, it's quite big energy. Can I have one more for Girl with a Snake? That, okay. So definitely you would be thinking when it comes to that, again, where you want to put up that boundary, it could very well, as I said in the beginning, be within the love department, but you think something is done and dusted. This relationship is over, no second chance, growth and transformation. What is dead is dead. I do not know, but I'm hearing something to do with friendships as well. So that girl could have been like a friendship that you are very firmly putting up boundaries with, that you're like, we do not align. I do not play with you anymore. I'm hearing that. But you would be looking at it as, this is over. There are no second chances. I'm phoenixing over this. I am choosing unconditional love when it comes to me, my soul, my vessel, right? You want fairness in love. You want an equal balance when it comes to this. And again, that ties into friendships as well. It would be in all aspects of your life where you would be starting to look through that lens. How does this serve me? What does this give to me? Is this equal? Am I always the one giving more of myself than what I am getting in return? And if I am, well, why? What is in me is missing? What kind of self-love do I need to tap into? Because why do I allow that, right? And again, with the Phoenix, you would be transforming through this. You would be changing your mind. You would be moving differently when it comes to that situation. Can I have one more for Girl with a Snake and the Okay, so it definitely as well could be with love. We have insane chemistry, the spark, the having fun, the equal interest and burning desire. I think you're tired of that. I am getting that energy. You do not want that. Passion, yes, it's beautiful, but if we don't have that unconditional love that you know within yourself you can give to a situation, why bother? And again, don't make it fit. We are doing what you are going through, what you are giving your energy to. So if that does not align, it ain't your reading. Could you be more in that lens of, yes, higher commitment, right? Partnership, engagement ring kind of energy? I guess you could, but I don't think it's in the forefront of your mind that you're looking for that. I think you are more in the state of reflecting upon yourself and really giving that energy to yourself. And it could be a thirst for you within this lifetime that you are finding yourself moving through life like that, right? But we have the phoenix. What is that phoenix regarding? The butterfly. Okay. So it is definitely about evolving, right? As we said it, you are changing your mind, you are moving differently within this dynamic in this moment of time. You could very well be rising from the ashes. Again, death, well, it can be quite the ashy place to be, if you know what I'm saying. But you would be finding yourself evolving and growing. Again, with the new phase, the next phase, you're preparing for something. Do I think you know what it is necessarily? No, I don't. I think it's something you feel maybe trickling in. But again, you would have been taking notice of the shift within your energy, that feeling of empowerment and embodying that strength that would be coming over you within this moment of time, and you would have taken notice of it. You could very well be within the state as well of releasing the past. Like we said, this does not serve me, so why hold on to it? I'm going to release it. Again, if it's meant to be, it will be. Are you in that lens right now? No, you're not. You're more in the this is done and dusted. But that could be a theme, so to speak, that you would be finding yourself coming into along with your journey, maybe when it comes to this. I'm not saying that this energy needs to be present, but you are definitely putting up boundaries from a situation where you have been feeling charmed or used. And I was getting friendship, but again, with the passion card, it could very well, and the love here, it could very well be within love as well, right? Blowing kisses. Okay, coffee cup. That talks about the meeting and talking, savoring the moment, feeling elevated and building friendships. I want one more for that, the blowing kisses and the coffee cup. But self-indulgence. Could you be finding yourself opening up to something here when it comes to the right kind of love? In your own right, you could. But I feel like that coffee cup would more be within the feeling elevated kind of feeling. I don't think you're going on any coffee dates, so to speak. If you're doing it, would be with family, would be with friends, again, building friendships, building foundations with people that are actually there to will clap for you when you're doing well and not trying to drag you down, right? Because it's tying in with the self-indulgent. It talks about the self-worth and the value, the time to heal, focusing on the shadow work, which you are within this moment, right? And having that self-appreciation. And like I said, you are very much within the lens of becoming very clear. What is it that I allow at my table? What kind of people, what kind of energy? Are this dragging me down? Are this taking in too much from me? Are they giving back in the same way, shape, or form that I know I am capable of? You want a balance when it comes to this. You want fairness, right? Could you be opening yourself up to the possibility of going out on a coffee date with someone, or if that person, not that it's anyone particularly, but the process of thought, if a person comes to you and you get that kind of feeling within you that this could be something, you would be open to that. I think that would be a process of thought as well. But again, it's not seeming like a center focus. I think it's way more tying into unconditional love with yourself, having that kindness, that compassion when it comes to you. Again, confirming here with the self-worth, what is my value? You are learning that in this moment of time. What is my value, right? And you could have been finding yourself going through kind of a test, so to speak, when it comes to this. Are you prepared to put up those boundaries for what does not serve you, even though it's someone you have allowed into your energy at some given point of time, right? But I'm still a bit curious when it comes to that row with the death, the passion, and the girl with the snake. So it would be a situation that made you feel not enough. And maybe that's why you're drawing the line and saying, I can't deal with that. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm simply saying what the cards are telling me, right? You would have been lacking confidence when it comes to this. You would have felt like self-sabotaging when it comes to this, not standing in your power, if you know what I'm saying here. Could this have been very ego and fear-based within you? I guess it could, because if our ego, so to speak, takes a hit, it can be quite hard if we're not ready to point that finger in and start asking those uncomfortable questions. Why is it stirring up in me? What is it within me that I'm allowing for this to trigger? I am not centered within this situation at this moment of time, so I am allowing myself to step out of my center. Why is it that I am doing that? What is it that this person is bringing to me that triggers all of this within me, that makes me come out of my center, of my peace, right? And that would be a focus for this collective in this moment of time. You are finding yourself changing, doing things differently, feeling that. I'm seeing that strength card. So with the ferocious lion, you would be having that sort of you could be a fire sign, but having that sort of fiery passion when it comes to yourself in this moment. I want to get a bit more into it here, my angels. So just to have confirmed, my angels, with this collective and what has come out. Okay. So there would have been conflict when it comes to that, and sorrow, right? Oh. Okay. And influence, and then divine masculine. So there would have been incompatibilities, indifferences, right? There would have been tying into that loss and grief, depression. I think it's kind of stretching in for this collective, but sorrow at least, like maybe a lot of tears at some given point. Again, the influence, yes, that could be the girl with the snake, but it would be in your energy. You are reflecting upon it. So I am guessing that ties in to you, your journey in this moment of time. Could this be in a way going on as well with the masculine? Yes, it could, but maybe you are more stepping in to that energy. I was hearing that when this card came out. I think you're more finding yourself again with that strength card, coming into embodying that divine masculine strength that you need to move forward. Again, being very clear with yourself. What do I allow at my table? Feelings or not, does this serve me? Does this bring to me what I am in need of in this moment of time? For this collective, it would make sense. I don't think you're like in the forefront of your mind, oh, I'm coming into divine masculine energy. I don't think it's like that. I think it's more, again, like trickling into you. Kind of that when we go to sleep and we wake up and it's like Tinkerbell has been coming by and we just feel a different energy within our whole vessel when we wake up, right? You could have had a very significant dream. That comes to mind as well. And you woke up and was like, something has changed. You just know it, but it's hard to pinpoint it exactly for you. But it would have been causing, again, a lot of conflict. I think as well, maybe not external, but internally with your soul, with your vessel. And that's what you're reflecting upon if we take it back to the beginning of this reading, right? And if it causes me a lot of sorrow, a lot of grief, a lot of emotions that, again, does not serve me, and it's bringing me into a focus I do not need to be in. This is having too much control, too much power over me. I'm going to release it. I'm going to relay it. I'm going to say, This does not serve me in this moment of time. Influences. So there would have been some kind of influences here. Maybe that's a thought process as well when it comes to your divine masculine, or a person you have been feeling is your divine masculine. But it talks about the attachment, the third party, the peers, right? Let's see about that. The divine masculine and the influences. Realizations. And we know that you are, and memories. Okay. So maybe they still have a seed within your mind in this moment of time, if you're being completely honest with yourself, right? You're not really in the lens of totally releasing when it comes to that energy. Do I think that your person embodies that divine masculine energy within this moment of time? I'm going to be honest, I do not. I don't think they're in that. Again, we would have had a different energy both around you, but also coming into this reading. I'm going to be honest. Are there a lot of memories? Maybe you're reflecting upon this masculine. Again, if you're finding yourself within that situation, you could be coming into that process of thought. Are we mirroring this? Are we maybe going through something similar here where they are dealing with influences from third party interference and peers, just like you were, collective? You could be. And then with the realizations here, because you have had epiphanies and understanding and awakenings through that, I think you're hoping that your person is as well, if I'm being honest. And we have memories. I don't think that you are in this moment of time like finding these bittersweet memories or dwelling within the past. You are more coming into the lens of wanting to release it. But again, I guess it could be a seed within you. It comes up, but then again, you're finding yourself moving differently through it, if you know what I'm saying. Yeah, nurturing. I think you're very much within that lens when it comes to this. What is there more? Maybe I should say with the conflict and the sorrow here, my angels. Beginning. Okay. I'm gonna be honest, that could be a bit of a red flag for this collective that you would need to go reflect upon. If you have been finding yourself with a lot of conflict, right? With a lot of indifferences and incompatibility, feeling loss, feeling grief, feeling sorrow, but you're finding yourself wanting a new beginning. If it is to you personally, I think it's good. If it's tying into wanting that with someone who has left you or made you feel like this, something to be aware of. It's very different within the energy, if you know what I'm saying here. Wanting to try again, if that's when it comes to you, I think it's beautiful. New direction, wanting to start over, like turning that page. We have finished that chapter within the book. I am ready to turn the page. You could be coming into sort of a season with the Fool or something like that's the big new beginnings with the tarot, like the first card within the tarot, new beginnings of the whole story that we are about to tell. You could be finding yourself or wanting that, having that lens, having that process of thought within your mind, wanting a new beginning. But I am a big intrigue when it comes to that. What's that new beginning regarding? It is the Runner. So collective, there's something here that you need to then reflect upon, because that is, like I said, a bit of a red flag. There is a need for you to come into an understanding of why this needed to happen, these two, right? Why were there conflict and why were there sorrow? What caused you to make you feel like there is this within this dynamic, right? And if you are in your own right, so don't think again it's overtaking your mind, but we cannot take away from it is a seed still within you. So you're not completely releasing it. You're still wanting a new beginning when it comes to a runner. And you would be thinking in this moment of time that they are in divine masculine strength, maybe because you're feeling like you are in divine feminine strength. I'm gonna be honest, I am not getting that. Not anything bad about it. It's an energy we can embody. But a divine feminine sees more reassured within herself. She knows who she is. She doesn't sit and reflect upon things that ties into this energy. And I'm not saying this to defend you or coming out defensive towards you in any sort of way. It's something for you to reflect upon. Why hold on to this. Again, you're coming into a season of being very clear of what serves you. So what makes you think that this situation in this moment of time is serving you? Does it bring you happiness? Does it bring you peace? Does it bring you clarity? Does it bring you that, again, that focus that you would be having towards love? If you're coming into a season of very much being in your self-love lens, how is this reflecting upon that? If you get what I'm saying. It's something for you to reflect upon, collective. Is there more here when it comes to this divine masculine runner energy? Yeah. So do you know this for a fact? I'm not sure, but there could be secrets. Yes, mystery. I think there's a lot of mystery when it comes to this. Something that is being concealed. Again, we have the obscurity. So something that is a kind of hidden. It could very well be that moon card, or maybe more coming into that trusting your intuition, but something there you're not seeing, and you aren't within this moment of time. You're not seeing something clearly when it comes to this. And then we have the hope. So you do have more of that lens. You have faith. You think you are trying to tell yourself that, but the outlook that you're having isn't completely a surrendering to having faith, right? To trusting the up above. You are more still holding that leash, or what do you say? Like I'm seeing those, if you ride a horse, right? You're holding on to, what do you call them? I have no idea what they're called in English, but it's like you're holding on to them. Firm grip. You're wanting to control the situation, right? And you would be, again, kind of craving maybe that new beginning. I wasn't getting that energy initially. It felt more within the release, but that could be the phoenixing over this. But then we have trapped. So you do feel stuck. You do feel tied down and captive when it comes to this. It's like there's no way out. The thing is, there is always a way out. You're keeping yourself bound to something you do not have to be bound to. And if you're looking at, right, if you take it back to the beginning of the reading, what you are releasing, what you're putting an end stop to when it comes to, I think it has to be tying in with some kind of friendship. And you're thinking your masculine very well could be going through the same thing in this moment of time. Like you're kind of mirroring that situation. You would be reflecting upon this. However, if you see how you're moving through that, how does this make it any differently? What within this situation is different to the situation you were put in when it came to that person that you would have been thinking is more of a snake that needs boundaries, right? It could very well be something here, again, to do with chemistry. Well, that would tie it back to this masculine. And if you're finding yourself wanting to put up those boundaries, but you're feeling trapped, again, make it make sense. It does not serve you. You would not be finding peace and feeling that soulfulness throughout your whole body. It would be putting you into a state of overthinking. And when we are overthinking, you're not trusting. You're not trusting your threads. You're not trusting your journey. You're not trusting that what is meant for you will always find you, and releasing it with that hope or that kind of faith, if you know what I'm saying. So you would be needing to go into a deeper reflection when it comes to this. Go in and ask yourself, just sit with yourself and ask yourself, why is it that I am feeling trapped? Why is it that I feel I am stuck to this energy? Is it because you have put a label on it? If you're finding yourself labeling things, they are avoiding, they are a runner, they are a conflict avoiding, they are this, they are that. If you're finding yourself wanting to put labels onto things, there's something for you here to gain reflection upon. Because why is it, again, you feel that need to label everything around you to make it make sense? Instead of sitting in the lens of the energy, what does the energy of this tell me in this moment of time? Does this serve me? Does this bring me happiness? Does this bring me peace? Take the label away. Take the face away. If you take the situation within this, just being a situation, not again putting that picture of this person you would be thinking a divine masculine about, but just putting it in that lens. Would you be dealing with this? Being honest with yourself, would you be dealing with this? Or would you be thinking, what am I doing? I think you would be finding yourself being quite surprised of the realizations you then would begin to have when it comes to this. Okay. Do we tap in a bit to the energy connected to you? I'm getting more and more of a feeling that this reading is finding you to get you into that strength. I'm gonna be honest, because it seems like the energy is still very much present within you in this moment of time. Like you haven't quite gotten into that phoenix right here, right now. So, no, we're gonna see the person connected to the collective. What are their thoughts and feelings when it comes to collective? A person connected, lusting, and pride. They are not divine masculine. It's confirming. So they are more in the lens of this is forbidden. This is a bit of excitement, right? Non-committal. They are not in that lens, and you're finding yourself wanting to come into that. They are way more in their pride, the arrogance, right? The ego, the stubborn. So they would be a stubborn person, and I think you would know it. If we take it back to when you were initially together, you would have seen signs of their stubbornness, right? You would maybe have tried to have a conversation regarding something, not necessarily with the lens of I want to change their mind, but more of in the process of you wanted to see if they were open to take in what you were saying to them. I think it makes sense. In my mind, it makes sense. I am seeing a very specific picture within my mind of having a conversation when it has to be doing with something that would have been quite heavy within their energy. And it's like you were trying, not again convincing them of why they would have the need to maybe put up boundaries or walk away from the situation. But for you, it was like, why do you allow that? For you, that was very clear. I am getting that for a reason. And you would have been seeing how stubborn they were because they were not ready. But again, the thing is, if you have walked through that fire previously, but your person haven't, you would have been just like throughout this journey, you would have come into those realizations because you yourself would have been finding yourself in a situation that maybe not be totally similar, but they would have been threats within that dynamic that would have been like, for you, right? I have smelled this kind of scent before. I think it makes sense. But that person maybe haven't walked through that fire. However, to this day and age, right here, right now, they're in lust, they're in pride. They are not thinking unconditional love. They are not gonna ask you out for coffee or anything. That was the intimacy card. So when it comes to the person connected to collective, releasing, and soulmate, I think they're more in the lens of this. Letting go, moving on, walking away. I'm a bit, I was about to say concerned. Is that the right word? I'm not sure, but soulmate, deep love, unity, and connection. I don't think that they think about you as a soulmate. I'm gonna be honest. It doesn't seem like it. Soulmate. Can I have one more for that? The foundation. So it could be a seed within them reflecting upon this, but then again, releasing it. But I don't think it's tied to you, collected. I think it's in the general of wanting to have a foundation at some giving point of time, but then again, releasing it. But they have, okay, so you did get that one card right with the memories. So maybe that is why you're thinking they're coming into that, because you're feeling them within your energy, right? I think they're going over more the dwelling, the bittersweet memories here, right? Reminiscing, it seems like a bit more ruminating and splitting it to distance. But they are releasing, letting go, moving on, and walking away. Emotional storm. So they're not ready to face it, collective. This person, again, we see that first two cards out of the overall energy. It's lusting and it's pride. If they are ruled by pride, by arrogance, by ego, by stubbornness, they are in no way, shape, or form able to meet you where you would want a person to meet you. And that's the realizations, that's the phoenix period you are coming into. So go ask yourself, why is it that I keep holding on to this in this moment of time? We are not on the same page of the same book right now, and that is so okay. Again, I'm just going to focus on me because I know what I'm in need of and I am deserving of that. So I'm going to keep putting that effort to myself of giving myself that unconditional love that I know I am worthy of, that I know I am deserving of. This person I'm not. You do not serve me in this moment of time, just like the other things you're coming into realizations and wanting to put up boundaries with, right? This is no different from what you're going through within your reality, because your reality is reflecting what goes on with the internal, right? So if you are looking out into your reality and seeing the lessons, seeing the people that are being presented to you, how do they trigger within you? What is it that they keep bringing up to your table that you need to then reflect upon? It would give you an understanding of where you are at on your journey. And that you two right here, right now, are not in the lens of coming into this. And there's nothing wrong with it. It's simply coming in. Simply. I'm saying simply. I know it's not simply. But simply sitting in that feeling of, in this moment of time, we are not on the same page. I don't even think you're reading the same book, if I'm going to be honest. Do we have more for the lusting and the pride? And then these two came out. So again, this is forbidden right now, but they're still sitting there. And they could be not like lurking, looking in necessarily. But it's like they're aware. It's like they're aware of this energy when it comes to you. And maybe you have said something that would make this person reflect upon that you are still having hope. Maybe they are having hope that this secret would stay hidden as well, whatever it may be. But it would be tying into lust, right? That non-committal, very sexual energy. Again, it ties into ego and pride. I'm gonna be honest. Yeah, and then mistake. Misunderstood, victim, lost soul. So again, if their pride, their ego, their stubbornness, so to speak, has been taking a hit when it comes to this situation, my angels, they are more within that victimhood, right? Feeling misunderstood. You do not understand my loss, my needs, my non-committal energy. So I'm just gonna be very secretive, mysterious, right? But not in a good way. More like in the icky way, if you know what I'm saying. And I do think they have hope that this stays like that. They're letting go. They're trying to release it because it's way too many emotions to deal with and I can't deal with it. It's too much. Poor me, poor my. Again, why would you allow that kind of energy at your table? It doesn't serve you, right? And if you're coming in, and I keep repeating that, you're coming into that season within yourself of finding that clarity of what does serve me. This as well, need to release it, need to trust what it's meant for me will always be for me. It cannot pass me by. Simply, it cannot pass me by. What about the pride, my angels? The broken. Yeah, as we said it, because there would be. Broken, shattered, heartbroken, destroyed. But their ego took a hit and they couldn't handle it. Their pride took a hit and they couldn't handle it. Let them sort that out. Let them walk through that fire of figuring it out. They are in no way, shape, or form within a divine masculine energy. They are more wounded feminine and wounded masculine. So don't give them your focus, your center, your peace in this moment of time. Release it. Leave it up to them. Trust them and your journey and focus soulfully on you, putting up those boundaries within your own life, right? Focus that energy onto you, my angel. I feel like there's one more. Influences. So you are not right on the money, I would say, but there are some things here that you are reflecting upon that is right. But then again, your outlook on it, it's quite disturbed because you are thinking there in divine masculine energy that they are coming into realizations and a lot more positive energy. I'm gonna be honest, right? But they are not. They still have influences here. And those influences would be keeping them in their pride, in their arrogance, in the ego, in the stubbornness. It would maybe also leave them broken, but they're not ready to let this go. They're not sitting in the releasement of it. They're sitting in the releasement of wanting to turn away all of these feelings because it's way too much to deal with. And they do not point that finger inward. So release that. Know deep within yourself that right here, right now, you do not align. And just like I said with everything else, that is okay. If we're meant to align somewhere down the path, we will. But in this moment of time, we do not. And I deserve hella more than this. So put all of that love that you're kind of wanting from this person, if you're being honest with yourself, because they have quite the seed within you. Phoenix that out. Okay? It would transform you. And again, not that this needs to be a center focus for you, but releasing that frequency. Things will happen within their reality, right? But they are behind you on this journey. They are. And I am not getting the feeling of you have been on this journey for years and years and years. It seems in a way still a bit fresh. Like maybe 5, 6, maximum 7 months ago or something. I am getting that for a reason, or that was the last point of communication maybe, but I'm hearing that 7 quite loud. But I just want to get a bit of tarot for what's to come for this collective, and we're going to end up with some message card from the divine, right? So when it comes to this collective, what of a season are they coming into with that phoenix that is trickling in? The Hanged Man could be wanting to turn, but we're going to put him upright. Oh, the Star. And the Magician. Wow. So again, the Hanged Man, he talks about lessons, right? There's a reason why everything is stuck, everything is still. There's a need for it. There is a need. And if you're looking at what we just brushed up with your energy, there is a need for this. To sit in that stillness, right? To face this uncomfortability, to just be, so to speak. Don't be stressing. Don't be holding on, hanging on, clinging on. It's to gain that perception, right? To gain the right perspective within this moment of time. And I think it has to be doing with that star. What is it that you're wishing for? What is it that you're trying to manifest within this moment of time? What truly gives me happiness? What truly gives me that balance I need within to feel creative, to feel a spark, to be a doer, right? What kind of energy, again, do I allow in that is able to reinforce all of the good qualities that I carry within? It gives me enjoyment. That makes me feel like I've been touched from the heavens. And that manifestation with the magician, you need to reflect upon this. And that's the season you're finding yourself coming into, and it isn't bad, it's a good thing. So again, have gratitude for it. And the Hanged Man is there so we can sit in the feeling and have understanding from them, to gain that perspective. And we did have that we did have that with the Enlightenment card for you, right? So things would be coming to your table, and it would make you go into that deeper kind of reflection upon, what is it that I want? Where do I want to go? What do I want out of life? Where do I see myself? And really coming into that, yes, self-love, but also the understanding of, what is it that I need within this moment of time? And justice. So it would be right to harmonizing, and it's all over the spread for this collective, to harmonize your inner thoughts and feelings, to see the fairness, right? Have that accountability for yourself, but also your person. Again, take that label away. It does not serve you. You are kind of having those rose-colored glasses on, and you need to. And again, I know it's trickling in, but there's a reason why I say everything within a reading, because it's quite more present within your energy than I first initially thought. Those rose-colored glasses, take them off. Let your person heal and come into that realization within yourself. We are not on the same page. I don't even think we're reading the same book. I'm going to take that finger and I'm going to take it inwards, because there are things in here that I need to figure out. There are things in here that I need to gain my focus upon. If you again take that person out, if you say they are not a seed anymore, right? What is it that you're finding yourself wanting to do in life? If we again take that face, take that feeling, take that love out of the equation, what do I want to do? Do I want to travel? Do I want to go on an adventure? Do I want to start a business? Do I want to get into a new career? Do I want to take up a new hobby? And I'm hearing that song, and now I don't remember the name of it, but it's this woman, and she's singing about all of the things she can do when she's loving on herself, because she doesn't have a person within her corner telling her, I don't like this, or no, we can do that, no, there's this thing we have to be doing on Saturday. She can just do whatever she wants to do in the time she wants to do it. I'm gonna link that song to this reading. I'm gonna put it in I think it's the description box or something. I'm gonna put that in. I think you need to go listen to that, because it really is empowering to come into that. And if you listen, put the headsets on. Maybe that's just me, but put headsets on and go to your mirror, and again do the mirror work with that song in the ear, and just look at yourself. Feel that ignition within yourself. Because if you're being honest to yourself, you're still quite attached to a certain outcome when it comes to this person. And then you are kind of still codependent. So where in your life, throughout your life, are you codependent to other situations? Maybe out of fear. Fear of what comes next. Fear of what will happen if you let this go, of if you release this, right? Is there more here, my angels? Queen of Swords. Okay. So I think that's, again, we've just said fear. I think that's a fear within you. If you're being cutthroat, if you're putting up boundaries, you end up in your head. You do not trust yourself. You're not sitting in that complete trust within that what you are doing is correctly. You could very well be prone to overthinking. Queen of Swords. She's an old bullshit queen. She will cut people's head off. She does not deal with bad vibes, bad intentions. She's also a truth seeker. She trusts what she sees, what she thinks, and she cuts people out accordingly. No second guesses. She has profound insight, this card says, and she does. She's also an integrity-driven woman. She's standing on business, and she do not mind being on her throne alone. She does not need a king. She knows who she is. But if you are thinking about becoming that, sort of speak, if you get what I'm saying with that, it will make sense when I'm finished with my little phrase here. It puts you into this. 9 of Swords, the overthinking, the overprocessing. It's kind of like you can put up a boundary, but then you're finding yourself going over all of the reasons why it wouldn't make sense. Instead of trusting yourself and having faith within you that this needs to be done. It's a bit sad, I'm gonna be honest. You could be finding yourself having then a hard time to sleep, worrying, extreme stress, right? Yes. And you're torturing yourself, and restlessness, lack of confidence, and that's what I am feeling. You would be lacking your confidence, and that's something, again, with the Hangman here still present, you need to reflect upon. Why do these people deserve to have so much power over you? Why is it that it's so hard for you to keep choosing you instead of putting up with shit you do not need to put up with? Why is it so hard for you to draw a line in the sand and say enough is enough? I deserve more. I'm gonna be honest, you're lacking self-love, because this does not reflect self-love. If it puts you in to a headspin by putting up a boundary, again, go confirm yourself. Go do that mirror work. Gain that strength, that center. Affirm to yourself, I know what I want, and I am allowed to want what I want. It's perfectly fine that I have other standards than what they do. If they are finding themselves becoming mad or angry, it's not my boat. It's not my ship to sail. And that does not need to be my focus. My focus in me is me. Am I happy? If I am not, I'm gonna make myself happy. And I am not codependent to anyone. My happiness comes from in here. My internal. My own soul compass, my own inner strength. No one outside of me can make me more happy than what I can in here. Because you will truly know how that soul love feels. Does it make sense? Is there more here, my angels, with that? King of Wands, yeah. And again, yeah, I was hearing that. But if we then say that a King of Wands, maybe more King of Wands in reverse, but however, if we say that masculine energy came in, and you are in this when it comes to putting up boundaries, just think about how that situation will come. If you're not truly knowing what you are deserving of, but you're coming into that season, again, there's a reason why the hangman in here over the stars, over the manifestation and the justice, it's big energy, my angel. If you're not in the lens of truly knowing what you are deserving of, this person would be able to play you exactly as they want to, because you will not be standing in that strength. You will not be able to put up boundaries and say, hold up, wait a minute. I do not want that. If that's what you want, fine, but I do not want that. Hasta la vista. I know I'm putting it a bit on the tip, but it's to make you understand. They would drag you around within the, what do you call that? If you know, you go to a circus, right? And where they are performing within the middle. I do not know the English word for that. But it's like they're dragging you around within that. I'm seeing that within my mind. And it would take you 10 steps back, not 10 steps forward. Focus on those boundaries within you. Don't let your over-processing, overthinking mind take over. When that happens, get out of it. Get up. Go affirm yourself within the mirror. Write down, journal, go for a walk. Again, whatever grounds you. Whatever puts you back into that center of believing. I'm trusting myself. It may feel uncomfortable, and that is okay. It is only because I am again changing, moving differently within the situation, if we take it back to the beginning of the reading. Okay. Okay, we are just gonna finish it off with giving you some message cards from the divine. Oh, that came out fast. Don't allow negative emotions to fester. If you are feeling frustrated, angry, or hurt, for example, just acknowledge that. Instead of fighting your feelings, go with them and work with them. Then true healing can really begin. Truth. Oh, they're flying out. Be true to yourself in all ways. Not everyone will get you. They can only understand from their level of perception. That's on them. No matter what people say, don't even doubt your worth or the beauty you hold within. Stand tall in your power. Truth. Again, them not understanding. It doesn't mean that you have to then have understanding for their not understanding. Does it make sense? Release that burden. If they don't understand, that's fine. You can't make people see and make people understand, but you can move what is best for you. Move accordingly. Have more self-love and more self-respect for yourself, for you, than for all others. You are not put on this earth to make them happy. You're put here to find yourself, to walk through the fires, to come in and find your happiness, your home within yourself. So release yourself from all of the burdens planted on you. And this would stem from childhood, my angel. You would have been a very codependent person when it comes to letting people go. And it's probably because you weren't chosen as a child, not with your family, not with your friends. Throughout your whole life, you would have that feeling of always being like the one coming in and being that person you really wanted to have someone be to you. You were that for everyone, but they never gave you that back in return, right? So throughout your whole life, you would have been seeking, longing for that, not knowing. You hold that within. So give that to yourself. You have been shown that your whole life. You are the one holding that. So give that to yourself, right? If you are noticing change within you, it's because you are leaving old versions of yourself behind. You are elevating and shedding unnecessary layers. Old cycles are ending and new beginnings are on the horizon. You deserve this new chapter. Like I said, it didn't come out, but I feel like it's trickling. I feel like right here, right now, you just need to sit in that hanged man and reflect upon what is it that I truly want. What is it that I am seeing for me, myself, and my life? What do I allow? Where do I need to put up boundaries? What kind of people do I want in my life? What do they need to bring to the table? Because what am I bringing to the table? Coming into a deeper reflection upon yourself. And that fool, that new beginning, it will come. But right here, right now, there's a need for this collective to sit in that stillness. Wow. Beautiful readings, my angels. I really like that one. So thank you so much for tapping in and tuning in and listening. And I will be seeing you another day, another time, in another reading. Bye, my angels.